Hi, I'm Ricky. I'm a stepmom without children, and this is my cousin Mill.
Hi, everyone.
She's the first stepmom without children I've ever met. Hashtag my first stepmom. So
Cool.
listen, so for the listener, this is my cousin Mill. Our parents are first cousins, so I'm pretty sure that makes us like third cousins or
Um,
something. I don't know what it's called. Something about removed, but I have always called you and your sisters my third cousins.
right, because your mom is technically my second cousin, because she's my
Yeah,
dad's cousin. Right.
right. So
Yeah.
it's I don't
Which
know
doesn't
familial
even matter
things.
because I grew up with your mom and all her siblings, so like
Yeah,
they're like my first cousins. Because I grew up
literally.
more with them than I did with my first cousins. So
Right, with Ashley and Brittany and Joey, I've called everybody just my cousins. Those are my
that's
cousins. So for the listeners, so this is my cousin. We grew up together, but didn't grow up together just because I was a baby when you were like a teenager. But let me
yeah.
tell you, Mill was the finest of all the cousins.
What?
You
Was
always
I?
had a cutie boyfriend
Oh my
going to
God.
going to the beach. Also, Mill was always chewing gum.
Was I? I don't anymore. Isn't that funny?
Always.
I'm
Guess who
all
chewed
chewed
gum?
out, I guess.
Listen, there's a home video from Salisbury Beach that we were at one of those, like, I guess it's called a motel now, that there was a slide in the pool and you got pushed in the pool and you said, I got pushed in the pool,
Ah,
chewing your gum. And I was
I
like,
would
yo,
love to see this. That is
oh my
so
God,
funny.
yeah, I'm sure my
I don't
dad
even
has
have
it.
that memory.
And I have every memory ever created. Ask Lee. I remember everything.
So
But
funny.
you said, they pushed me in the pool. And you were chewing your gum. And I was like, she's so cool.
Here's the thing that I think about memories that I just want to mention. I did have a little I made a cute little list of stuff I wanted to mention from your previous podcast that I was like, oh, I
Oh,
totally feel that in
oh,
my
we have
soul.
notes.
Well, I didn't bring them because I took off. I just had to leave the house. I was just annoyed when I take off. I like to just whatever, just
Yeah, yeah,
do something spontaneous to get
yeah.
my mind off of it. But what
Okay.
was my train of thought? Oh, memories. Like,
Yes, I have all of them.
so I've heard you mention that possibly kids are maybe in the future. So, that's when your memory really goes, like the pregnancy
Oh,
brain. That's a for real thing.
I
So, a
feel like
lot of
I know
memories
that
that
because
I
my
used to
sister
have,
was
I
like
feel like
weird.
they're gone. Yeah, the
Yeah,
memories are gone. It's weird.
I would hate that for me.
It sucks for everyone. It's awful. I hate it. And with age too, I'm like, ugh, I
Yeah.
only have so much space in my head, to
No,
remember
I
stuff.
have that. I always say, like, for me to like take in something else, I have to delete something that's already there.
Forget something else. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a filing cabinet. You can't just put everything in it. Let me hold on. Throw this one. Delete this one. So you were the hot cousin.
That's so
That's my
funny.
favorite memory. You and like Debbie. I was like, what the
Oh, she's so gorgeous to this
fuck?
day. Love her.
Honestly, with her porcelain skin.
For
Not that
real.
we love her skin because it's white. We love it because it's clear.
Yes. And to this
That's
day, actually, I'll be 51 in July. I still get compliments on my skin. I was just blessed with good skin. Never had
yeah.
acne, never had
Mm-hmm.
any redness or any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So to this day, I've never worn foundation, cover up. What's that? I never, you know.
Meanwhile, I put on concealer just for this conversation.
So I'm blessed with that for sure.
I
For
love that.
sure.
You probably get that
Very
from your parents
grateful.
because I feel like your parents have what they call dewy skin. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you just hit the lottery there. So fuck off. We're grateful for your parents, period, because we love them. We
Aren't
love
they? Aren't they awesome? My mom's the best.
the best.
The best.
The
Oh,
best
speaking of
cook.
skin, and then she'll complain to me recently because she still smokes like a
Mm-hmm.
and don't complain to me, ma, because she has all the wrinkles on her lips. And I'm always the first to tell her, I'm like, no, no pity. I'm like, you brought that on yourself.
Yeah,
Like,
you did it.
you smoke all the time. I don't want to hear it. I'm not buying you any face creams. I'm not getting you any Botox. I'm not doing none of that because
Not
deal
Botox.
with your consequences, you know?
Okay. This is what you get. Keep
Such a bad
smoking.
habit. Such a bad habit.
That's crazy she still smokes. Like, who still
I know.
smokes?
My daughter is 20, and since she was little, she's been telling her, stop smoking, Vava. Please stop smoking, Vava. You smell,
Aw.
Vava. You know.
Yeah,
Never
the
got.
smell is what gets me. I don't want my
Yeah.
hair to smell. Like, when I go to people's houses that they smoke, I don't go on wash day. I'm not gonna waste a hair wash on going to your house, and then I
For
go to
real.
bed, and my husband's like, "I full?" No, not here, babe.
So funny.
So Mel, we have things in common. We're the hot ones. We're the middle children.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
we married hot white guys.
See, look at that.
Um, I mean,
Oh
I've
my
had this in
god,
my
I
head
love it.
since I
I
talked to
love it.
Nancy. So Nancy is Mill's little sister, who for me was just like super cool. She was into like rock music, and by rock music at the time, I mean
She's into everything.
like
She's into everything.
alternative is what I think they called it. Like whatever was on Rock 101 or something. But Nancy was the coolest. But on Snapchat, randomly, we added each other on Snapchat,
Oh,
and
I don't use that. I'm old.
yeah, she said she just uses it to like see her kids or something. Okay, Nancy. Let's talk about how you're a stepmom. So my memories of you being a stepmom without children and a young mom, maybe, because I never really knew how old you were. We're at a birthday party at your mom's house in I think it's South Lawrence or whatever, and there's a pool, and this
Oh
little
yeah, that's
girl
West
comes,
Methuen. Yeah, yeah.
and her name is Ainsley, and I'm like, what kind of name is Ainsley? Like,
I
that's
know.
weird, and I love it. Like, at the
Isn't it a cool
time,
name?
nowadays, I'm sure there's 100 Ainsleys walking around.
And it's actually unisex. There's a bunch of guys that are named Ainsley. There's like a
Oh,
popular
love
guy on
to
TV named
see it.
Ainsley. Yeah, it's a beautiful name. Yeah,
That's
gorgeous.
so cool. And then also, there's this smoke show of a white man with huge muscles and spiky hair that walks in with Mill, and I'm like, hold on, what? Mind you, guys, I'm like 5.
For real. You were 5.
I mean, like
Well, so
5
I'm
to
50 and you're 35. So do the math.
I
So you weren't.
mean,
You definitely weren't
how old
5.
were well, so that's an important question. How old were you when you met Steve?
I was 22, I believe. Yeah,
And then
22.
and then when you met Steve at 22, how old was Ainsley?
3.
Oy.
She was about 2 or 3 years old. Yep.
Oh my god. And so
Yeah.
what was that like? You were like 22, smoking hot, met the smoking hot guy, and oh, he actually is a kid.
Yeah, yeah. So I was good friends with his sister Priscilla
Mm-hmm.
in high school, and
Mm.
he asked about me once. His ex were kind of like separated, and he like kicked her out of the house or whatever.
Was he
They were
married?
married. They were
Oh,
married a very very short time.
uh-huh.
He got married because they
Was
had a
pregnant?
baby, so
Right.
they were literally only married for like, it doesn't even count, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
18 months. 18 months. I would
Oh,
say
it's
that
like a
doesn't even
Kim
count. He
Kardashian
just took your
marriage. Are you
name by
kidding?
accident.
Oops,
Sorry.
sorry, we got married.
Yeah, no kidding. He's a good guy trying to do the right thing.
I love
So
that. I
that did
mean,
not work out, obviously.
yeah. Was there baby
Yeah.
mama drama you had to deal with in the early stages?
OMG. Baby drama mama. Oh my gosh.
I feel like I vaguely remember this
Oh,
woman. Does she have black
so
hair?
so much. I say to this day, like if he wasn't worth it, and I didn't know from day one that he was worth it, I would have not wasted another second on that man, because there was so much drama. It was
Mhm.
insane.
No thanks.
I don't know how I lived through it. Honestly, it was so stressful. So
So in the
stressful.
beginning, like, was he like a weekend dad or did he have primary custody?
Oh, you're making me remember things. I think he had her like a lot, like
Maybe they
all
were
the time, because
50-50.
he was kind of like really into like bad things, and like
Mm.
wasn't really capable
Oh,
of
so he was the primary parent.
yeah. So he was kind of the primary,
So
and
are
he
you
brought.
like going to Steve's house and like cooking lunch and dinner for him and a baby? Or was that not the dynamic of your relationship when you're 22?
No, he kind of took on a lot of doing everything as mom and dad, even when he was still with her.
Mhm.
So he would drive her to daycare and pick her up. And,
Mhm.
once I started going over there, I think she was visiting with her mom. And, I specifically remember like when his dad was sick and I was there, and he had to leave to his dad's house because he was literally like dying of cancer. And so
Oh
she
shit.
was the baby's already in bed, and I stayed with her while he left to
Mhm.
go, be with his dad for his last moments in life.
My
So that's a
god.
very, very vivid memory of mine. And
Right.
me calling home to my, Portuguese parents who don't get the fact that like he was married and had a kid, and why am I dating him? Like my dad was like freaking out at first. But that was the first time I had to call home and go, I'm spending the night, whether you like it or not. Like, his dad's literally dying, and I'm not leaving the babies in bed, and
Oh
I'll
my
see you
God.
tomorrow. And they were like, huh?
You're not coming home, girl.
Did I answer the question? I don't even know if I lost my train of thought here.
I don't remember
Did
what
I
the
answer
question
your
was, so it's fine.
See?
But that's how it goes.
And I'm way older than you, so.
was that the first night that you like stayed over? Like, did that like break the cycle of like having to come home?
I think so. Yeah.
We love that. I mean,
sure.
Terrible circumstances, but we love that for a Portuguese queen. Okay.
Right. It was really weird and different.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was,
you can be ripping and running in these streets.
Lots of fun stuff.
Do you think Nancy had it easier than you did, your younger sister? Also, just like being like out of the house, like being able to like be in the streets and not have to like come home every night.
It was probably easier for her, I'm sure.
Because you were already misbehaving.
I think it was a lot easier for me too, breaking my parents' habits of like whatever traditional stuff is, because Lee kind of took it down too, you know, with getting pregnant before marriage, and then they kind of like forced that issue, and you know, that didn't work out, and then I meet this other guy, you know, that was married, and it's like, all right, whatever, this is America, let's do it, you know. I don't know what they were thinking. I have no idea.
Yeah. I just imagine like the baby of the family like could just get away with anything.
So back to the question of like how it was like in the beginning, like once she started going to kindergarten, her mom wasn't like, I don't know what was going on with her. So I was responsible for taking that little girl to Sacred Heart School in Lawrence, driving her to school every morning.
So you were a whole ass mom.
Was like, boom, I went from 0 to 60 really quick.
Yeah.
You know, that was my responsibility. And I remember like it was yesterday. We always had the issues of like her forgetting clothes there and back and forth and shoes and this and that, and where's her backpack, and you know, we buy her all kinds of new clothes and then it disappears. And I remember vividly her mom showing up with her to kindergarten graduation, and me and Steve getting out of our car and walking in, and we were bringing her shoes because she couldn't find Ainsley's shoes anywhere. So it was always
I remember this story.
Do you remember the rest of it?
I don't remember the rest of it, but I just remember that this lady was like a slob kebab, and she was like a problem factory.
Yeah. So we walk in. I have the shoes in hand, mind you. My husband had no idea what the shoes were. I did. She freaks out that I'm there. What is this bitch doing here? Da, da, da. And I'm like,
kindergarten.
Excuse me? I got her through kindergarten, not you. What are you talking about? So she never had like that gratefulness then. I don't know if she does now, but I have no idea. The mom, I mean, like her mom, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you're like driving her to school, like that's a big deal. Like leaving the house with a child is like the most complicated thing that you can do as a young person or as any person. And you had to do it every single day.
We went through a lot of dramas and a lot of sad stuff, but we made it through the other end, thank God.
What's Ainsley like now? I see her online and I am like afraid to like friend her or like her page because I'm like, she doesn't know who I am.
You should be afraid. No, I'm just kidding.
You better be. Watch out.
She met a nice guy who's been like great for her. Puerto Rican. I know, we love it.
So she has Puerto Rican babies?
No, she didn't have babies with him. He was actually previously married, and he has 3 girls. But she had 2 boys with others, and they're great. My grandsons are, Grayson is almost 7 in a couple of weeks. The end of May, he'll be 7. And Dean is just turned 5. And he's a handful because he's on the spectrum. So, you know, she's busy with him. She's busy with the 2 boys, you know. And then her boyfriend Felix has the same age. His youngest is 7 as well. So she has Farrah a lot as well. So she's busy doing the mom thing.
Yeah, she got 5 kids basically.
Yeah.
So I remember when your oldest was born, and I remember it was like the revival of kids in your family because Ashley and Dylan, who are closer to my age, were more grown up. And so when Cole came, it was like, oh, little baby Cole with his chubby cheeks, and he's so cute.
He was so cute. Oh my God, he still is to this day.
How old is he now? Is he like 22?
So he's 22. He'll be 23 in June. And I'm sad because he's going to be moving out. He bought a condo in Revere, all the way in Revere. It's like
What?
he's going across the country. I'm so sad.
I mean, that's like 2 highways away. You got to get on 93.
Right? Isn't it far though? Like everybody keeps saying, "Oh, just be grateful. It's not like in another state or whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, but like they don't get it. Like us Portuguese moms, like I'm like, honey, I can't just like drop in for like 5 minutes and throw you some food or whatever. Like a mother does to me, you know." I was crying. Like I can finally talk about it without crying.
Oh,
I just love my boy so much, you know. The
that's
boy
so
who
cute.
changed my life, you know.
He did. So when you had Cole, how old was Ainsley? Do you remember?
So when we got married, she was 8, and I got pregnant pretty much right away. So she was like 8. She was almost 9.
Mm-hmm.
He was born in June, and she turned 9 in July. So yeah.
Was she like traditional, like big sister, or was it like this is my half brother?
So no, they still to this day they're just brothers and sisters. Yep.
Love that.
There's no half. There's no step. There's none of that. Ainsley grew up really fast, kind of like taking care of her mom almost. So when I had children, I had to set boundaries really quick because she was not having it. She wanted to be the mama, and I kept reminding her that I'm the mama.
Yeah,
you know,
that's hard.
It's just a role that she kind of got pushed into with taking care of her mom.
Do you feel like when all of the court stuff was happening and like the custody stuff was happening that like you were just a person watching and not actually involved? So yes then?
Looking back on it, I guess I was just kind of there, like
support for Steve and nothing else.
His emotional support, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And not to say that
very invested, like wanting him to get custody and like wanting better for her life and like really invested in her, like almost too much. She used to say, I care too much. It's killing me. You know what I mean? Like if I didn't care, life would be easier. You know what I mean? Like, but like I think I mentioned to you maybe, you know, she's grateful. And now that she's a mom, she looks back and she's, you know, one day when she's like, with a lot of alcohol in her, she's like got all sobby and like, I'm so grateful for you. And, you know, so happy for everything I did. Glad he didn't give up on me, and that kind of really hit home. Like,
oh my God, over 21 years later.
Yeah. It takes a while. You have to go through certain things to like really appreciate other things, you know, and becoming a mom, I think, you know.
Yeah, especially like having more than one kid. When people have more than one kid, then they're like, hold on, this shit's fucking hard, yo. Because when you have the first one, you kind of think that like you're doing it and you're gonna be like the best parent and you're not gonna be like your parents. And then after the second one comes and you're like, why am I always yelling?
Right.
No, I've heard so many people say that. And so I 100% get that. I love that you had your little moment of validation with her, though.
Yeah.
We love a moment.
If she was a little intoxicated, that's okay.
Do you think that like while she was growing up and like you had her full time and you had Cole, do you feel like having to discipline Cole and even Brooke and her at the same time was difficult? Like, was it like, like I'm trying to get these kids together, or was it like I'm trying to get my kids together?
No,
and then
it was a lot. It was a lot. I mean, you're talking, you know, she wasn't around a ton like when Cole was a baby, but then my second one comes along and then she's older and she's around more. So she would help a little bit. But I guess at that time, from my memory, it's just like maybe she was with her mom more at that point. Even after we like got custody, like she still had visitations and stuff, you know. So
and then it's like you want to like raise your kids a certain way and you don't want I'm projecting 100%.
No, you're right.
You want to raise your kids a certain way because that's how you want to raise your kids. But when you're with somebody else's kid, as much as you're like, no, this is my baby Ainsley or whatever, it's like, no, but this is like someone else's baby. And like when the big stuff happens, it's not you that they're calling.
You're right. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
They humble you real quick.
Yeah, it's true.
Stepmom, you never get that recognition. Real quick, with Mother's Day approaching, when this episode airs, Mother's Day will be the next weekend after that. So Mother's Day vibes. When was the first time you got a Mother's Day gift?
Oh, I was trying to think of that when I heard one of your podcasts and you guys talked about this and I don't remember. Yeah. But like I said, I did get pregnant right away shortly after. Steve and I got married in April and we were pregnant in October of the same year. Because I was kind of like, well, I'm already a stepmom, so I might as well be a mom,
Okay.
like,
Fertile Myrtle over here.
Because actually in the beginning, like when we were dating and stuff, like he wasn't even sure he wanted to get married and have kids again. So I was just like, let's do this. Like, this is what I wanted all my life. This is what I know I want to do. So
okay.
let's
Every
just get it over with while we're young,
I mean, that 100% makes sense.
Yeah. But I don't remember. I feel like I was probably recognized on Mother's Day, that following Mother's Day, even though I was just pregnant. You know what I mean?
But not from Ainsley. You weren't getting a Mother's Day gift from her.
Not necessarily. Her and her mom, like things were very, very back and forth. I don't want to just focus on negatives. Her and her mom spent a lot of time doing arts and crafts and a lot of cool stuff. So I do have stuff from now. I want to go like look in my bin and like see what year that was, because I write years and like the ages. Like Ainsley gave me something, whether it was for Mother's Day or Christmas or something that she did when she was little, like arts and crafts with her mom. So it did take her a little while, but she definitely got there where she like chilled out a little bit more when after we were married and she realized, oh, okay, well, Mill's not going anywhere. Like she's really in my daughter's life, Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I do think I did get something in recognition very, very early on that I probably didn't appreciate as much then as I thinking about it now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be nice. This one's mom said, oh, dog moms are moms too.
Yeah, that's so rude. When I heard that, I was like, bitch.
Literally. And it took me like a year to like even like realize like how much it hurt.
Oh,
so stupid.
She seems very petty. So yeah.
She like is, but she isn't. Like she wants to not be, but then there's just something that like brings her back down to like being annoying. It's like a control thing. Like she is like nobody can do anything as well as she can, especially when it comes to her kid. And so like she's like the leader. It's like, when are we gonna get him? And it's like, well, whenever she says. I mean, it's every weekend, but it's like on her terms. It's like, bring him back at this time. And it's like, well, that time's inconvenient. And she's like, all right, well, just bring him back at this time though.
So they have 2 boys together, right?
They have one, the younger one.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that's 21.
Yeah. So I feel like you touched upon this too, is like, I feel like maybe coming from, mom's point of view, like because he's on the spectrum, she has a little bit a different point of view than like,
100%.
some others, maybe that's why,
Yeah,
we went through a lot of that too, where he was always just trying to like make everybody happy, and he couldn't, like Steve couldn't always make everybody happy. It's just not because when he was trying to make me happy, she wouldn't be happy. But anytime she heard the word no, oh my God, like
God forbid,
end of the world, God forbid he says no, so then we would all suffer.
That. But at the same time, like, whatever, it's fine. I'm sure that her life is difficult with having him during the week and with school. This is his last year of school. And so I can't like shit on her so much, but whatever. I wrote down a memory that I have of you from when we were younger, because that's what I do. And so one time at Michaela's communion, Michaela, listener, is my cousin, like my aunt's daughter. At Michaela's communion, I was there with my makeup on, with my white eyeliner and my mascara and my black eyeliner in my waterline. And you said, so when you start wearing makeup? And you gave me a whole interrogation about my makeup process. And then so I thought about that and I was like, so at first I was like, oh my God, she likes my makeup. She like wants to know how I do my makeup.
What did I ask you? What was the first thing I said?
You said how long you've been wearing makeup.
Oh, okay.
And then, so of course, in the beginning, I'm a child and I'm self-centered and I'm in 6th grade, maybe. And so I'm like, I wear makeup every day. Yeah, I do eyeliner and I do mascara and I do white eyeliner, because white eyeliner was it.
Yeah.
Also coming back. And I don't mean
coming back. Yeah, like Brooke wears it sometimes.
Yeah, I don't mean white eyeliner like in your waterline. I mean white eyeliner is the eyeliner that you're wearing on your top lid. And it was a hot mess, but it is coming back. And then so when I was thinking of this memory recently, I was like, well, maybe she was asking because like Ainsley wants to wear makeup and she was doing some recon.
Exactly my thought. My first thought was, you guys aren't too far in age. I think Ainsley will be 32 or 33 in July. So you're a couple of years older than her. So that's exactly why. Like, when did you start? Because now I want to know, when should Ainsley start wearing makeup, or when is that like a normal? You know what I mean? That's exactly where I was coming from. Absolutely.
That's so funny.
But I hope I came off as though like that you did look good and not like being rude.
So I took it as a compliment in the beginning, and then I do remember telling my mom that like you were making fun of my makeup.
Oh, you told her that?
I did. I feel like she probably doesn't even remember this. And then I don't know, you were like we said earlier, like you were just like a different like a generation. Like you were an older, like my aunt's age. And so we didn't have a lot of interactions. I do remember your bridal shower very clearly.
And I went to yours.
And then, so I feel like maybe we had a couple of interactions, like seeing each other at your mom's house, because I feel like I spent a lot of time there when my parents moved. And then after that,
I remember your mom being there.
Oh, totally. No, I mean, after when my parents moved to Pennsylvania, I feel like I was an orphan. And so I just hung out in Lawrence all the time.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So I always ended up at your mom's house eating like carrot and pea soup and stuff.
Everybody always ends up at my mom's house. She's the best.
Okay. If she's cooking, I'm there. Them's the rules.
Like many of the Lewises.
Literally. Oh, I'm obsessed with your mom and her cooking. I wish. I want to like.
She's so good.
You need to get a book together of everything that she makes.
Oh, my husband's been telling her for like years that she should have did like a food truck, that she'd make tons of money. And you know, it's just not in her, you know, to do any of that.
Yeah.
But still to this day, like just between my son and my husband eating so well, like he'll cook like 20 people are coming over. I'm like, Ma, for real. And then I can't just take 2 or 3 pieces of chicken or pork chops or whatever home.
Yeah.
You know? I have to take like this huge container.
Yeah.
My dad like yelling, take more, take more, take more. I'm like,
you have a family to feed, Mel. Okay. Don't be chintzy or whatever the word is.
She's so good with that. I'm so grateful.
She is. What's Brooke like? Your youngest little baby.
Baby. Oh my God. She's a hot mama. And I look at her and I'm like, that's me.
She stole your entire face.
Me. She did. My body, everything. The body I miss.
The whole thing.
Yeah, for real.
So is she like a little like
except both my kids have their dad's eyes. They have the bluish eyes.
Yeah.
Where I have the greenish hazel eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, your mom's exact eyes.
She's a bombshell. She's doing really well. She's gonna be finishing up Middlesex Community College. She graduates next month for business.
Oh, generic.
Entrepreneurship. She'd like to open a bar. A lesbian bar.
I love that. Yeah. Where? In New Hampshire? I feel like that's a New Hampshire thing to do.
No. So there isn't very, very many anywhere, actually, even in Boston. So she's thinking Boston. So I don't know. We'll see.
There's so much red tape in Boston, I feel.
I know, right?
Do it in New Hampshire where there's less like rules.
But yeah, she's always been a go-getter and trying all kinds of different things. And she dated guys for many, many years and decided that it wasn't for her. And now she's had a couple of nice girlfriends, and we just welcome it with open arms. As long as she's happy, we're happy.
Okay. As long as you're not treating her like shit, we're here for it. Yeah. I love that.
At Christmas time, it was interesting because it's introducing, this is my girlfriend, to like my parents. They really got it, or if it really clicked right away. I actually still don't know to this day. Just like,
for the listener, we'll follow up with that soon.
Eventually, I don't even need to have this conversation because I don't care that much. I don't want to make a big deal out of it, you know?
Literally. We'll see what happens at her graduation, and then we'll just keep it pushing.
Something quick and funny, though. Cole has had a girlfriend for a couple of years named Sophia, and at some point, Brooke was dating a girl named Sophia. So they were both Sophias. It's so funny.
And like, which Sophia?
It was just, she's no longer with her, but it's just hysterical.
I feel like I remember, but I do remember seeing Cole sitting at a Red Sox game with a girl.
Okay, that's him and his girlfriend Sophia. Yes, that's his profile picture on Facebook,
Cute.
which he doesn't really use. Yeah.
And so, like, what's his vibe? Like, are they like serious? Are they moving to Revere together?
I guess apparently they're so serious. So it's been a while. And Cole and Brooke are very, very close. So as a mom, I love that for them and for me. But then, like, he'll tell her things like before he tells Mama. So I think it's very serious. And Sophia graduates from BU next year. She's going to be an ophthalmologist.
Oh, love that.
And they're a power couple for sure.
And so they're just going to be ripping and running Revere Beach.
Yeah. for sure. He's doing really, really well as an electrician, licensed electrician.
Mm-hmm.
So things will be happening, I think, next year. You know, they'll already be living together, you know, when his condo's ready in July, and then she'll be graduating college, but then she'll have 4 more years of medical school.
Right.
So that's why he ended up going to Revere.
To be closer to her school.
Yeah, just to make it easier for them, because they don't see each other a lot now, you know?
That's so cute. I love that a lot. So with my older stepson, like he's been in a relationship with the same person since I met him. And since he was like 15, I met him when he was like 18 or 19. And
well,
so
they've been
like
together a while.
Literally since they're 15. So for 12 years. They've been together longer than me and my husband.
And they're having their second baby now, right?
Yeah. Early June. I think June 8th is her official due date.
I love babies.
Your whole family loves babies, yo.
Oh, I love babies.
I'm excited. This baby will be named Matthew Ryan Sanazak III.
Wow.
MS3 is what we're calling it from the outside right now.
So funny, so cute.
I know. My husband's so excited to have a third. So you mentioned that you're a grandma.
Yeah.
And so with the grandma vibe, like what is that like? Was it in the beginning, was it like, well, I'm like a step grandma?
Yeah, it still kind of feels like that way a little bit, because now her mom's got her shit together. So she is in the picture a lot more. And a lot of parents, they always try to be better grandparents than they were parents.
Mm-hmm.
So she's on that. She's doing that right now.
Oh, 100%. That's the
they're
vibe.
Both with the grandmother, like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she's like babysitting them when she's at work and stuff like that.
Right. You know, when she needs to go somewhere, she'll usually and her mom's lives closer to her as well in New Hampshire. So
yeah,
far from us. She's in Salem, New Hampshire. Yeah. So they tend to see her more, which is understandable. You know, it's
that's your grandma.
You know?
Yeah.
That's her only child. So.
Do you ever feel like sometimes you're sad about it? That you're...
Yeah, because I mean, I miss the boys. I mean, the younger one's harder. Like we haven't bonded as much, only because he is on the spectrum. So it's been difficult, and he has his favorite people. And, you know, she'd drop him off a couple of times. I watched him when he was like an infant or even 2. And sometimes it was fine, but sometimes he'd be at the window crying the entire hour she was gone.
So just my last little stepmom question. So fast forward, it's present day. We have a blended family. I know that you host holidays at your house because Ryan, Nancy's husband, posts all the pictures, and I await the day that he posts them after all the birthdays and after all of the holidays. But does Ainsley's mom come to your holidays?
Oh, God, no. No. God, no.
I just, things were giving kumbaya, so I didn't know how kumbaya we were. Have you ever taken a photo with Ainsley and Steve and Ainsley's mom?
No.
At Ainsley's baby shower, did you guys hang out together?
The baby shower, things were always like kind of separate. When Ainsley got pregnant, I think I hosted a baby shower for her at my home. So no, her mom wasn't there.
These are just petty things that I just want to know for my own life.
That never even occurred to me, because no, she, like, I don't know how to say that. Like, I guess I don't respect her enough to like want her or invite her into our circle or my home for that matter. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
I'm over Ainsley, it and whatever, but
right. Ainsley seemed to have had 2 very separate families.
Right.
And that's like normal. I feel like now people being extra and having a whole big old thing, like I feel like that's very modern, and it's just not what happened back in the day.
And it works for some people, and for some people it doesn't. And like, it's just not
everyone's
necessary.
Circumstance is different.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Because if her mom could do more things or whatever, and then she would just host herself and do what she wants. You know, that's her only daughter, it's her only child. So if she wanted to host a baby shower for her, then she should have, you know? And that never even occurred. It's funny because I guess we're at the point where like it never even occurred to me, and I don't think that ever even occurred to Ainsley that would be like an option, you know?
Well, I wish that was a thing for me.
Yeah.
I do wish that. Thank you for being so open. Spilling all the things. It's not even spilling.
You definitely got me thinking, that's for sure. Like, because I forget all this stuff, and it's just kind of in the past. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I mean, you're a poster child for moving the fuck on.
Yeah.
I'll get there one day.
You're so funny with your imposter syndrome all the time. And can I just say, stop that.
Don't tell me what to do.
Positive thoughts.
Listen,
affirmation.
Yes, I'm here for positivity, but sometimes I just get in my feelings about being an invisible child and nobody even notices that I'm here.
But I want you to try something. I want you to start saying more nice things about yourself.
Yeah, I'll start.
Because you are doing great things and you are accomplished. And I know every birthday that comes around or every new year, you're like, oh my God, what I've done with my life. You've done a lot. So just give yourself a pat on the back. You're doing awesome.
Thanks,
and look
Mel.
What you're doing for your husband and his son and like so much. You're doing so much.
Literally. Me and my husband were just talking last night. Or was it me and my husband? Yeah. No, it was me and Becky. Me and Becky went out for Mexican and we did a Walmart trip and a little Mexican moment.
Girl time is good.
Oh, I love hanging out with this bitch. This is an update for the listener and then a preview for you. So me and Matt did the episode that aired this week, and we talked a lot about his cousins because he's not close with them. But we recently went to a funeral, and I was like, dude, you have to be close with your cousins so that your kids can be close with their kids, because then it's just going to break. You know what I mean? Like, imagine, I mean, I'm not trying to be morbid, but like you and Nancy and Lee and your parents die. Me and Ashley are the only like living connection.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like my kids, if I, have them, obviously knock on wood that yes, that happens. My kids and Ashley's kids like need to be connected to keep that thing alive. But that's all we have for you guys today. Mill, is there anything you want to say?
I hope we reached anybody and made anybody think about any little thing that I possibly said. I hope it was important to at least one person.
Yes. And if you're that one person, let us know.
Or say any unnecessary things. Hopefully I did good.
I'm sure you did fantastic. Everybody, thank you for listening. If you're trying to follow us, find us on Instagram, on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. We love you. Bye.
Bye.